Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Keep my head up when I act, head up, that's a fact. Never looking back, I'ma keep myself on track. Keep my head up, staying strong, always moving on. Feel I don't belong, tell my thoughts to move along. Push myself to be the best, die with no regrets. Live with every breath, see my message start to spread. And I had so many dreams, then you hit your teens. Life ain't really what it seems, try to find out what it means. Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Yeah, I put out all this art, it's my only medicine. Yeah, everything I do, I'm just being genuine. Yeah, I'm sick of being screwed, feel my own adrenaline. Yeah, I do just what I do, and I hope you let me in, yeah. I'm grateful, oh yeah, able, oh yeah, I'm stable, oh yeah, no label, oh yeah, you know me, I have only a path, I'm lonely, but damn, I'm going to win. I don't want no fake love, I want the real stuff. Everybody listen up, cause I'll only say it once. I'm gonna show you all the path, if you want it bad. I'm gonna show you where it's at, yeah, how you can get it back. Yeah, cause I ain't never done, I'll be number one. Working hella hard until I get just what I want, yeah. Rises like the sun, yeah, fatal like a gun. Shooter's gonna shoot and I'm gonna shoot until I won, yeah. Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Yeah, I put out all this art, it's my only medicine. Yeah, everything I do, I'm just being genuine. Yeah, I'm sick of being screwed, feel my own adrenaline. Yeah, I do just what I do, and I hope you let me in, yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Wednesday night Check Fire 22 series over at American Sheepdog Racing. Here with me in the booth is, I about said the number 14. You don't drive the number 14 anymore. Driver of the number 4, Season 1 Truck Series champion, Andy Drewski Smith. Andy, how are you this evening, buddy?
I'm doing good. You almost messed that up. Yeah, but hey, I did win the championship in the number 14, so to still see me as the number 14, I guess makes sense.
It still throws me off seeing you as the number 4 on the track. But anyway, these guys are at Old Atlanta tonight. We did a test session earlier before this race popped. A bunch of us Roughneck guys got into a test session. And these cars were loose. Boy, were they loose. Andy?
Yeah, no. This, if you're not familiar with Old Atlanta is not like the new Atlanta, where, it's like a plate track, full on, full throttle, full bore, going at it. No. Old Atlanta, you have to take your time. You're racing the track. You're not racing the people around you, so you have to really watch your tires, watch your throttle. That's going to be the biggest thing, is these guys are going to have to pay attention to their throttle and have good throttle control going in and out of these turns. Because like you said, I mean, this is insanity. I've never been on a track more slick. I thought Atlanta would be relatively easy, but this Old Atlanta is no joke. So this is going to be a battle against these drivers and their own cars, I think.
They will absolutely have their hands full as the 52 gets a little loose there during qualifying. It might cancel out her lap. I'm not sure. These guys have 5 minutes, guys and gals, I should say. There's a couple of females in this race tonight. These guys will have 5 minutes to qualify. I'm going to assume that it's 2 laps.
It should be 2 laps qualifying, yes. Right now, having the 31 with the fastest lap, Blake Witkowski running a 31.728, and that immediately just changed. He hit a 31.574. It's currently your fastest lap.
James Wagoner currently sitting in second with a 31.777. His teammate Matthew Gall with a 31.972, currently sitting P3. Just edged out William Britton in that 9.74. Oh, and Jeff Scott jumps up there.
Hey, I'm just saying, I think having a practice right before the race helped our guys out.
I'm going to have to agree with that. I think going in cold to a race like this with this car that our guys aren't as used to running, that practice definitely making a difference right now. We see Chris Phillips laying down his qualifying lap. While they're finishing qualifying, let's go ahead and take a look at the race info. As I stated earlier, this is the Check Fire 22 Xfinity Series in American Sheepdog Racing. This is race number 11 at Old Atlanta. Temperature is 78 degrees Fahrenheit, humidity at 45%, partly cloudy with the winds at 2 miles per hour. And I would like to give a special shout out to the Ruff-Neck Racing sponsor, James Wagoner Welding. James Wagoner Welding is a family owned and operated business. We specialize in custom built truck beds and offer framework of all types, located in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. If you need any framework done to your truck, if you're looking for a custom built truck bed, hit James Wagoner Welding up and they will take care of you. Got about 30 seconds left in qualifying. You're seeing Casey Ellis and Chris. Ooh, the 6 just hit the wall pretty hard there. After laying down the 3rd fastest lap, he gets into the wall. But Casey Ellis was able to set the second fastest lap with a 31.716.
But let that right there be a tell on how tonight's race is going to be. He's alone on the track, completely going around, just fine. Sets the third fastest lap, but still having to battle that car anyways, and spun himself out. But I think that's going to be the name of the game tonight.
And pay very close attention on the restarts tonight. We learned firsthand just how difficult a restart is at Old Atlanta in the Xfinity car.
We sure did. I think only one of us made it through out of 5 of us.
Oh boy. You see Bill Stringfellow coming out. These guys will now have a 5-minute warm-up, and then we will get them gridded and get to racing. Dave Collins Sr. here in the 707. I keep hearing about being collinated. Now, I myself have not been collinated yet, but apparently it's a good thing. That means you're officially part of the family if you get collinated.
I've also not been collinated yet, or at least that I know of, but I guess if you haven't and you don't know, then you probably haven't.
Blake Witkowski is currently, he set the pole, didn't he?
Blake Witkowski, yes he did.
And he was last week's winner at Watkins Glen.
Yeah, that he was. Kind of curious to see how the 74 Brian Hennings, starting in that 10th position, is going to go. Last week he had the unfortunate turn into the wall at the Glen that ended his race on lap 2 out of 40. So, I'm kind of curious to see how he's going to run tonight. We're on oval, probably a little bit more familiar to him. I don't really know him well enough to really say that, but kind of curious to see how he does. Seems to be a top pick around here.
It will also be interesting to see if Bill Stringfellow, how many laps he gets in before the grill and the stakes are calling his name again.
It's going to be fun to see how far he can get up to the front, because that's what he's going to be trying to do.
That's what he did last week.
Chase that grill.
That's what he did last week. He got himself out front and said, all right, that's enough for this Wednesday. I'm going to go fire up the grill and make me some medium rare steaks. They've got about 2 minutes left in warm-ups. We'll go ahead and throw a commercial break at you, and we will be right back.
Ruff-Neck Racing would like to thank our sponsor, Wagoner Welding. Wagoner Welding is a family-owned and operated business located in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. They specialize in custom-built truck beds and framework of all types. You can reach them at 336-670-3427 or visit the shop located at 446 DeHart Church Road.
Get a view up here from the James Wagoner Welding blimp high above Old Atlanta. Looking down on the 30 machine of James Wagoner.
Now I'm back here looking at the number 29 of Jimmy Pyland. Didn't think he was actually going to hop into the race, but maybe these guys actually talked him into joining. Going to be good to see how our Season 3 Ruff-Neck Racing champion holds out in the Xfinity at Old Atlanta.
Take a look at Jimmy. We've got one of his buddies in the chat saying, go, Jimmy, go. So let's take a look at Jimmy here. Actually, let's go on board with old Jimmy Piling.
Jimmy in the Camaro as always. New paint scheme for Jimmy though. Something
It is.
different.
And
Something
we
I'm
will
not seeing.
Right. We will definitely go into the cockpit of several of these cars tonight just so you viewers can see how hard these guys are having to work the wheel at this track. Warm-ups are done. They are going to start gridding. And here's your starting grid tonight. Blake Wachowski will start out on the pole. Casey Ellis. Chris Phillips in third. James Wagoner in fourth. Jeff Scott in fifth. Matthew Gall in sixth. William Britton at seventh. Paul McDonald at eighth. Wade Palmer in ninth. Brian Hennings in 10th. Dave Collins Sr. in 11th. Larry Fairman in 12th. Greg Pillar in 13th. Benjamin Benji Richards in 14th. Jerome Cooper in 15th. Mama T in 16th. Jimmy Rowdy Piling in 17th. Bill Stringfellow in 18th. Josh Kramer in 19th. Tony Richards in 20th. Andrew Smith is in the booth with me. Penguin is race control tonight. 23rd, Edward Fiedler. And 24th, Greg Spiker.
Well, as we're coming on to the back straight, I mean, I'm real curious to see how this race is going to end up going.
I'm
our
honestly
practice session earlier, it was rough, man, and we weren't running in a pack like this, so I'm just curious.
This first restart, well, not restart, the start of this race will be a tell-all right here. We will find out what kind of race this is going to be from this first start.
These cold tires, you know, second gear, it's going to be tricky.
We have American Sheepdog Racing League in the chat. Green flag waves. We are racing here at Old Atlanta in the American Sheepdog Racing League.
And that was an exceptional restart, if you ask me. I saw some cars kind of bumping into each other, but we see Blake Wachowski getting the perfect restart and taking it away.
Everyone's doing a great job.
We're talking at the same time.
Yeah.
These drivers, they are going to be using a lot of different lanes. That's going to be the big thing around this track is who's going to be utilizing that bottom lane and the top lane. The Old Atlanta does have a really good top lane if you can keep your car, you know, good and straight up alongside that wall. You're going to get pretty good runs and pretty good momentum coming out of the turns if you're sticking with that high side, but the inside also does work to get caught up with the person running on the outside, so gonna be a lot of different lane usage here.
I guess best way to do this is you pick a part of the pack to watch, and I'll pick a part of the pack to watch.
It's looking that way. Everybody seems to be currently holding their line. We do have one car into the pits. Looks like they got a little bit of damage. It'd be the 51 of Daryl Aronson, I believe is how you say that. Gonna try to get a little bit of his damage fixed up. Number 52, Tony Richards, also stopped down on the apron of the track, now moving again. Probably going to try to go get into the pits. But for the most part, I mean, everybody seems to be running really good. I mean, we got some close racing towards the middle of the pack, but everybody's, you know, kind of running their line, trying to keep these cars as straight as possible.
Absolutely. Great size field here tonight. Also, 24 drivers on the track for this Checkfire 22 Xfinity race.
Blake Witkowski getting a bigger lead there on Chris Phillips. Blake Witkowski is knowing how to run this track.
$117 laps tonight here at Old Atlanta. These drivers do have 4 sets of tires, and my guess is they're going to use every set.
Yeah, if I had to guess, you'd be using all of them. I mean, 4 sets of tires. The set they're on right now is their 5th, so curious to see what's going to happen. We got a caution here.
Yellow flag flies. Let's see if we can track it down, see what happened. It's definitely not this car because we were watching. There it was. It was a 78 of Matt Gall. SDK not wanting to cooperate here. Let's see what happens.
Looked to me like the 43 going into that turn.
Just gets into the back of the 78. Yep. Turns him. Oh, and the 78 comes back up the track, and the 56 of Benjamin Richards has nowhere to go. That's a hard hit for the 56.
78 was able to get it off track into the pits as quick as possible to try and go get fixed up after. I mean, that's a hard hit from that 56.
Well, only 11 laps on this set of tires. I wouldn't think anybody would take tires. I would assume they're just coming down for a splash of gas and maybe a window tear off. That's probably about it. I'm not sure what their fuel mileage is tonight. Andy, do you have any idea?
I have no idea. If I had to take a wild guess, maybe about anywhere from 25 to 30 laps, maybe.
Yeah, Jimmy is currently sitting 15th, up 2 spots from his start. Currently, Greg Spiker in the number 65 is the biggest mover. He is up 14 spots from where he started.
After seeing the 51 go into the pits earlier, now 7 laps down, I do believe that the 51 might just be out of the race, and as I'm talking, he is moving. So never mind.
It looks like he's still got some damage to that right side, so I guess he sat there for the repairs instead of using his fast repair.
Hey, it's what you got to do. No quit. You never know what could happen.
Oh, actually, I'm sorry. There are no fast repairs in Sheepdog.
No, there are not. No fast repairs.
I still had it in my head we were calling one of our races.
Nope.
No fast repairs.
This is American Sheepdog, Checkfire 22 Xfinity Series.
You crash, you're in trouble. So, no. Yeah, Benjamin Richards is going to be in the pits for a while. He's missing his whole front end. I hate that for him. Had nowhere to go. That's unfortunate.
And Gall coming out of the pits once again must have dropped back down in there to get a little bit extra damage repaired as he's missing an entire rear end.
It appears we are 1 to go here. The lights are off on the iRacing pace car, so when we come back around, these guys will be green flag racing. Oh, looks like the 70 got a little squirrely there on the restart. She's able to hold it together, though.
And Blake Witkowski had another great start, but you got Chris Phillips taking a look on the inside, trying to take that first position, and I think he's got him cleared. And that will make Chris Phillips your race leader, but Blake Witkowski coming on the outside, trying to make that outside line work. And I think Chris Phillips is just going to stay on that bottom line, and he's going to keep it.
I'd say that battle is far from over as you see Blake Witkowski shoot back to the inside of Chris Phillips. Going to try and pull that exact same move that Chris used on him back on Chris, and not able to clear.
Yeah, Chris still able to keep it up front, because I think he'll probably try to run that inside line and stick with it as it's working for him. Blake Witkowski taking that high line, probably going to get another huge run right here on that number 6. No, he's not. He hit the wall right there. Rode the wall just a little bit, causing him to slow down. So Chris Phillips, your race leader as of right now.
As we see a battle for 10th here. Jeff Scott trying to move into the top 10 and get past the 90 of Greg Pillar.
Just heard the 56 of Benjamin Richards exiting the pits, so he will be coming back on track shortly.
And as the 90 and the 38 were battling there, William Britton in the 64 said, "All right, guys," and just went right by both of them.
Brian Henning's done the same thing as he's taken that third position. Casey Ellis, who originally was in that third position, has dropped all the way down to the 5th position, with Bill Stringfellow, number 83, already in the 4th spot. You know, he's looking.
He is. He's up 14 spots from where he started. So we knew it was just a matter of time before Bill Stringfellow was up here contending. Currently sitting P4.
Bill Stringfellow not really running a high or a low line. He's sticking to that middle groove, and I think that's what's working best for him.
Things are starting to heat up in the top 5 here. These guys are, I think Wachowski might have scrubbed the wall a little bit right there.
He did. Yeah, he did.
He scrubbed the wall, and Brian Hennings was able to take advantage of it.
See the 83 of Bill Stringfellow now making that move on the inside on Blake Witkowski. Trying to get that 3rd position. I think he might have him cleared coming out of this turn now. Got 31 of Blake Witkowski, gonna take the inside now on Stringfellow. See if he can get the pass, and I don't think he's going to, so that will make Stringfellow in 3rd place.
See if we can find some more battles here going on. Somebody got loose right there. Didn't catch the car number.
See Jeff Scott kind of dropping back, running a little slower. Not sure if he got into a little trouble there. He dropped back a few positions, putting our Roughneck guys in 12th, 13th, 14th, and 15th. But we know that James Wagoner, or Doogie, did head into the pits earlier. We're 25 laps in, Chris Phillips still the leader. Brian Hennings in 2nd with Bill Stringfellow in 3rd. Blake Witkowski in 4th, and Casey Ellis rounding out your top 5. But as I go and look at Casey Ellis, we have William Britton making the pass on Casey Ellis, getting into 4th position there.
William Britton and his Speed Weed Ford Mustang.
Yeah. Coming out of nowhere with some speed.
Some speed weed. Power of the Kush.
It's that cush push. You know what I mean?
Speed lead and the cush push. Hey, I like that.
As of right now, all the racing seems pretty good. Everybody's pretty spread out, kind of settled in, running what they know. I don't really know where everybody's at fuel-wise or anything like that, so I'm not sure when we're going to see people pitting. Bill Stringfellow calling out he got a little loose. That gave the 64 of William Britton that third place position. Kick-Ass Duke in the chat. I'm on the power of the cush right now. I think most of us are, as William Britton's getting that perfect cush push all the way into that third position.
You're a towel. Just notice he has Tally on his car too.
I see that now as well. As you see Matthew Gall there, these guys are starting to get into lap traffic. Matthew Gall, 2 laps down, currently in the lead lap traffic.
As we see the 69 of Matt Ace Barker coming into the pits, gets into the grass a little bit, but is able to collect his car. We might start seeing, I think I just heard somebody else call out they're pitting also, so it appears we're going to start seeing some green flag pit stops here.
The 83 of Bill Stringfellow coming in. See a lot of these guys, yeah, a lot of these guys dropping down, get their new set of tires and some fuel. Blake Witkowski, number 31, is now inside the pits. And we got to see how long this top 4 here is willing to stay out. 74 dropping in now.
Matt Barker's still in the pits. I'm not sure if he's getting damage fixed or if he has called it a night. I'm not sure. Duke, unfortunately, we do not know.
What don't you know?
How many laps they're getting, what their fuel mileage is on a full tank. We see Brian Hennings in the pits. Bill Stringfellow still in the pits.
We got a race for the lead as Chris Phillips and William Britton were side by side. William Britton is on about 10 lap fresher tires than Chris Phillips, so William Britton making the move on the inside and is about to change over to your race leader. He gets a little squirrely as he cuts through the grass, but the cush push helps. He keeps it straight. Blake Witkowski a lap down, but he is absolutely tearing through the pack as of right now. Just trying to get back on that lead lap and work his way back up to the front.
There we go. Apologies for that, viewers. My headset died and had to switch the battery out. And all of my outputs messed up, but we should be good now.
William Britton, 64, has made his way back up to Chris Phillips, seeing if he can get the pass this time to take over the race lead.
See that 64 looking to make a move on the inside of the 6 of Chris Phillips. William Britton is able to complete that pass, and the Speedweed car is out front.
Currently, only the top 12 drivers currently on the lead lap, with Blake Witkowski being the first car a lap down. I think I just heard the 38 calling out that he's going to pit. That'd be the 38 of Jeff Scott, the 29 of Jimmy Pylan just calling out that he's going to also pit now. And the 30 of James Wagoner down in the pit lane.
So the Roughneck drivers have decided to pit.
Matt Mangal currently sitting in 16th, 4 laps down, still out there fighting for his life. Still missing the rear end of his car with a lot of damage on that left side. And I do believe the 69 of Clyde Barker is out, as he has just went 12 laps down, still in the pits. Really kind of unsure of what happened to Matthew there, but sure we'll find out later. As you can see, James Wagoner, Jimmy Pyland, and Jeff Scott all coming back out on track. Blake Witkowski making his way around the leader, currently getting his lap back, so he will now be back on the lead lap. Got it back the hard way. And all these drivers racing really good, really clean. I expected you know, there to be a lot more cautions, and a lot of people say cautions breed cautions. So after the first one, you know, I thought it was going to be a lot more, but everybody just sticking to their what they know and running their lines.
It's a long race. Me as a race controller, I'm happy to see that they're taking it easy and waiting. Of course, with no fast repairs, they know that they beat up their car, they may not make it to the end.
As a few of them have unfortunately already found out. You hear the 707 of Dave Collins calling out that he's going to hit pit road.
As we got drivers coming out of the pits currently, sitting in first is the 64 William Britton, and in second place you have the 35 of Casey Ellis, and then in third place the 04 of Josh Kramer. I think it's time we take a look and do some ride-alongs with some of these drivers, seeing how they are working these wheels around this track.
Pick a driver and we'll go on board.
Well, you're right there on Doogie himself, so come on with him. Really hear him working the throttle around the turns as well. It's the number one thing at this track, I found out.
Yeah, and as you see, he's hitting almost 180 on the straights and having to back it all the way down. Right there, he just hit 150 in the turns. A lot of throttle management here. Go on board with the race leader currently, William Britton. That 64 is really having to work that wheel. That car is all over the place right now.
And he's on pretty old tires. Still one of the few cars to stay out on the track this long. The top 5 currently the only cars on the lead lap. Your top 4 now being the cars on the lead lap.
That puts James Wagner, the first car, a lap. Nope. I believe I'm showing 2 cars on the lead lap.
Really?
Now 3.
For me, it shows James Wagner being the first car a lap down in 5th place.
That's what I'm seeing now. It just updated.
Okay.
So James Wagner is sitting in the lucky dog position.
And you want another funny thing? I'm only showing the top 2 in the lead, on the lead lap.
And now, okay.
I'm really curious to see what's going to be William Britton's plan here. He's, letting a lot of lap traffic, go around him, but he is staying out, sticking to it. And, those tires got to be awful because Chris Phillips making his way back around, doing what he can to get caught back up to William Britton. He's got about 40 lap fresher tires, so.
And he is coming. Every lap, obviously. On those newer tires, he is faster than your current race leader, William Britton. But you've got to think at some point that 64 is coming down. And it's got to be pretty soon.
And I just
there
hear him calling
is.
it out now.
And there it is.
Will be pitting this time. That'll put number 6 of Chris Phillips as your leader, with Blake Witkowski going to move up into that 2nd position. Now, I do believe that this will be where it becomes 2 cars a lap down, or 2 cars on the lead lap. Not sure here.
Ooh, the 64 having a bad entry into the pits. That's going to hurt. I don't see a black flag though. He may have straightened it out right before the pylon.
I think you're right. I don't think he got black flagged, as he's already back out, getting back on track.
As everything cycles through here, your current race leader is Chris Phillips. Blake Witkowski is sitting P2, James Wagner P3, Jeff Scott P4, and Jimmy Pilen P5.
I think the number 30, the 38, and the 29, the Roughneck team, had a phenomenal pit strategy there. As whatever they did has got them running back up front.
Well, we're halfway through with the race. We'll see what happens here towards the end. Are you guys showing 13 on the lead lap now?
Showing 9.
I am showing 14 cars on the lead lap. No, wait.
And I'm showing 9 now. I don't know what's going on.
It's still cycling. It's lost its mind.
I don't know. I just make determinations when people get in wrecks, and there's only been one, so I'm good right now. Other than that, I just sit here and look ugly.
We see a battle here between Casey Ellis, Jeff Scott, and Jimmy Pilen. I'm sorry, that was Josh Kramer. Casey Ellis able to go around both of them and take away that 5th place position from Jeff Scott. Jeff Scott has fallen back to 7th. Jimmy Pilen back to 8th.
William Britton's pit strategy working really well for him as he pitted in. You know, from that 1st place position, and most people had already pit by then. And him getting out on track, already back in that 4th position.
In that 4th,
a phenomenal run.
Absolutely, in that 4th position and on much better tires than the guys in front of him. As we take a look at the lap times here of Wagoner and Britton, Britton is closing in. Last 4 laps have been faster than James Wagoner. Somebody shot off the track there.
New cars all over the place currently.
William Britton back up to 3rd.
Casey Ellis putting the pressure on the 30th James Wagoner, trying to move back up into that 4th spot. Taking the inside on James Wagoner, getting the run. Going to have James Wagoner cleared, so that moves Casey Ellis into that 4th position. And there's a pretty big gap between 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, so don't think you'll be seeing these guys battle for it anytime soon. The battle for now will be probably around this middle pack area, right around Jimmy Pilen, as he was trying to move out of the way of the Collinator. The Collinator getting loose, trying to get back down to the bottom of the track. William Britton has now officially moved up into that 2nd position over Blake Witkowski. William Britton having a phenomenal run as of right now, so we'll see if he starts gaining up on Chris Phillips here.
He absolutely is. The past 4 to 5 laps, William Britton has been faster.
William Britton's just going to have to go through and battle this lap traffic as he gets caught up, though, so that might actually end up slowing him down, helping Chris Phillips stay up front.
As you see at the bottom of the screen there, you can clearly see William Britton is still faster than the 6 of Chris Phillips. See how far back he is.
4.5 seconds. Make that 5.
Chris Phillips actually now getting passed by this lap traffic, so that might actually end up slowing him down significantly, allowing William Britton to come and pass him as Chris Phillips is up into the wall.
I believe that was the 56 of Benjamin Richards saying he was going to attempt the pit, so we will watch him here and see if he is able to complete this pit stop.
Looks like he's doing it.
There you go, Benji.
I'm not sure what has happened. Never mind. That's me. Chris Phillips still up front. William Britton gaining on him. Trying to get back up there and take over the lead of this race once again. Just heard the 38 of Jeff Scott call something over the radio. It looks like he's going to drop down and head into the pits. Makes me wonder if we're going to start seeing some more green flag pit stops happening here as we are on lap 74.
Yep. 29 of Jimmy Pilon has called out that he is pitting, and here comes the 30 of James Wagoner also.
Wonder what these guys did, if they tried to maybe go a little later this time on this pit stop, knowing that it was going to be a green flag pit stop, to see if they could possibly round out into the first, second, and third position. Because after that first pit stop of them pitting early, they were able to move up quite a bit. .56 of Benjamin Richards still in the pits. So I'm wondering if he had some damage. He definitely had to go and get repaired. Well, while we are here, real quick, gonna give the quick shout out once again to James Wagoner's Welding for allowing us here at Ruff-Neck Racing to do what we do, and give another big shout out to American Sheepdog Racing for allowing us to come in during our off season and still be a part of the community and broadcast these Wednesday night Checkfire 22 Xfinity race.
Absolutely. Big shout out to Ricky Evans for reaching out and trying to grow this this league relationship between Sheepdog and Ruff-Neck, and just do what we can for each other. I mean, we're not racing, so I reached out to Ricky and said, hey, you mind if I broadcast your Wednesday night races? You know, I won't charge you anything, just do it for fun. He was cool with it, so here we are.
It's definitely been a lot more fun than broadcasting our dirt races. As we know and understand asphalt, kind of know what we're talking about here compared to when we're talking about dirt. So this has been fun to watch these guys race.
Very clean race. Everybody's done an amazing job tonight.
And the 6 of Chris Phillips fighting with lap traffic as they make contact going into turn 3 and 4.
That's one thing you definitely don't want to see, is your leader getting taken out by lap traffic.
Not at all, but that should have slowed them down, giving William Britton some more time gained on that number 6. He has definitely made up a lot of time.
Take a look at the lap times here and see. And yeah, the past 5 laps, all but one, William Britton has laid down a faster lap time.
And third place, the 04 of Josh Kramer, coming down into pit lane to get his car fixed up, putting the 90 of Greg Pillar in that third place position. Currently, as it sits, you have the number 6, Chris Phillips, in first, 64 of William Britton in second, the 90 of Greg Pillar in third, the 70, Teresa Spiker in fourth, and the 66 of Edward Fiedler. Is it Fiedler?
Fiedler.
In fifth. Fiedler in fifth. Okay.
You see Chris Phillips in his pit stall here, getting him some tires.
And that puts Speed Weed William Britton.
The Cush Push is back out front.
The Cush Push.
amazing how considerate these guys are out here on the track too. They've all spoke up when there's an incident or if they bump somebody. They're right there to apologize. I've got to commend these guys on that. The sportsmanship out on this track tonight has been second to none.
Yeah, these guys have really good morale. Everybody's, close together. Everybody races each other every week, not just in American Sheepdog. So everybody's pretty used to each other. I mean, even Ricky was talking about it in our last broadcast last Wednesday, about how much of a family American Sheepdog really is, and they've been showing it on track in just about every race every week. So American Sheepdog is a really good league, and we're proud to be a part of their community and join as one another and make the communities bigger and stronger, and everybody gets better together and learns from each other. So it's really fun to be over here in American Sheepdog.
Go on board with the 38 of Jeff Scott here. Let's see what old Giggity Carl's up to.
Not what you want to see.
Oh my goodness, what is going on? Why can't I just get stuff to move where I want it?
As we all know, it's operator error.
It absolutely is.
I was waiting for the thank you, Captain Obvious line, but evidently that one isn't coming, so.
I got something better if it works.
Ain't got no gas in it.
Well, considering you can't get things to move where you want them, do you really think that something better is going to work for you?
Did that play?
No.
I think it did on the stream.
Play it again.
I didn't hear it.
Ain't got no gas in it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Ain't got no gas in it.
There it was. I can hear it on stream, just not in the chat. Showing me once again the top 3 drivers, the only cars on the lead lap currently, and that'd be the 64 William Britton, the 6 of Chris Phillips, and the 90 of Greg Pillar. And we got a caution.
And it looks like it might have been Paul McDonald. Ooh. Oh, everyone is it? Oh my goodness. His engine just blew also. Let's go back and take a look at that. Like the 33 of Paul McDonald and the 72 of Jerome Cooper. Hard hit for the 33. Not sure if he came across the 72's nose or if the 72 came down.
It looked like they kind of came together, kind of met. Looked like the 72 was coming down towards the middle of the track, just slightly, and the 33 coming up and meeting him.
Like a little bit of net code also. Go back here. See, the 72's about, yeah, it's one of those met in the middle and net code got them type situations.
I don't see netcode on my screen, but it does look like the 33 did drift up quite a bit more than the 72 came down. He did have that top line, which gave him that little bit coming out of the corner, because there is a little bit of a lip if you think about it coming onto the backstretch.
And it's funny you
So,
just mentioned that what I saw and what you saw are completely different. Ricky brought
Yep.
that up the other day, and he said, you know what? When that happens, you always go with race control's view.
after, forgot to talk to the Cretans or the drivers.
As you hear the 64, I assume that was the 64. William Britton just came across the radio, and he has selected the outside lane for this restart.
See these four, all the cars in front of him, currently all a lap down, decided to stay out so they can get that wave around the pace car and get at least one lap back. This changes things, though.
It did. You had a bunch of cars come down the track. As you see the 30 of James Wagoner coming back out from his pit. Jeff Scott coming out of the pits. The 29 of Jimmy Pilen out of his pit stall coming out of the pits. 78 of Matt Gall.
I'm going to have to step away for just one moment.
As you see the cars getting a free pass here, able to get a lap back. Stayed out, did not pit. 70 of Mama T. Looks like Larry Fairman and maybe Josh Kramer. The lights are out on the iRacing pace car. So we are about to go back racing here.
Okay, Drewski is back.
Race control has extended the caution by one lap so that the tail end of the field is able to catch up. These guys can get stacked back up and we'll go back racing. So as they come back to go green, currently your race leader is William Britton. Chris Phillips is sitting P2, Greg Pillar in third, Casey Ellis in fourth, Josh Kramer in fifth. 18 laps to go here at Old Atlanta in the American Sheepdog Racing Checkfire 22 Xfinity Series.
Yeah, people could not find their spots, and I don't know why. Just can't.
I'm currently showing 6 drivers on the lead lap. Is that what you guys have?
Yes. Top 6 on the lead lap. Not really sure what happened with that caution, but I am seeing some cars that are probably not in the spot that they should currently be.
Well, we heard the 56 of Benjamin Richards key up and say that he wanted an EOL. He was, you know, multiple laps down. So apparently he was in a place he didn't want to be also on that restart. So not sure what happened there.
I'd say if you're Chris Phillips right now, you're feeling pretty good about where you're standing.
You're feeling pretty good, and you're praying that a caution does not come out. Take a look here, and back in 8th, Jimmy Pilon trying to get around the 90. James Wagner has found himself battling with lap traffic here, currently in 4th.
There is a lot of lap traffic ahead of him.
Absolutely. You've got the 72 of Jerome Cooper, the 70 of Mama T, the 66 of Edward Fiedler, and then right behind him, you got the 11 of Larry Fairman.
That's a scary spot to be. That's what I was talking about earlier. I think that caution kind of put people in places they should not have been when these drivers who were in the front should have been in the front and they weren't. My stats were showing James Wagoner during that caution in the 4th position, but he was not lined up in the 4th position. I thought it was a little odd. But iRacing messed up. That's what I thought, and that's what it was.
Yeah, For some reason, whenever there's a wave around, iRacing gets weird.
As we're inside 10 to go here at American Sheepdog Racing, Chris Phillips is still your race leader. William Britton in second, Greg Pillar in third, and James Wagoner in fourth.
James Wagoner able to get around the 70 of Mama T. So now he's going to be pushing his way up, trying to catch that number 90 of Greg Pillar, trying to take that third spot.
Okay.
Chris Phillips sitting very comfortable out front. As you see, the last three laps, James Wagoner has been faster than Greg Pillar. Make that 4. So the 30 is trying to track down the 90 and take away that third place podium finish. Does he have enough laps left to do it?
James Wagoner has gained a lot of time on Greg Pillar, so I would say with the amount of laps we have left, there is potential of the number 30 getting that podium spot.
Three laps to go here at Old Atlanta. The battle we have set our sights on is, can James Wagoner catch the 90 of Greg Pillar? Chris Phillips has a comfortable lead here with 2 to go. White flag waves. It's the final lap here at Old Atlanta. And it's pretty safe to say that Chris Phillips is going to walk away with a win here at Old Atlanta.
Yeah, he's sitting pretty comfortable as he's going into turn 3, about to come out of turn 4, head down this front straight and get this win.
Chris Phillips, your winner here in American Sheepdog Racing Check Fire 22 Xfinity Series at Old Atlanta. William Britton will come away with a second place finish, and Greg Pillar will come away with a third place finish. James Wagoner in fourth, and Casey Ellis will round out your top five.
Chris Phillips gonna burn them down here. Well deserved.
All right, your final results here at Old Atlanta. All right, ladies and gentlemen, your race results here at Old Atlanta. Chris Phillips comes away with the win tonight. William Britton in second. Greg Pillar in third. James Wagoner in fourth. Casey Ellis in fifth. Blake Witkowski in sixth. Jimmy Rowdy Pylon in seventh. Mama T comes away with an eighth place finish. Edward Fiedler in ninth. Larry Fairman will round out your top 10. Jerome Cooper comes away in 11th, Josh Kramer in 12th, Dave Collins Sr., the Collinator, in 13th, Greg Spiker in 14th, Matthew Gall in 15th, Jeff Scott in 16th, 17th belongs to Benjamin Richards, 18th is Paul McDonald, 19th is Brian Hennings, 20th is Daryl Aronson, 21st, Bill Stringfellow. 22nd, Matt Ace Barker. 23rd, Tony Richards. And 24th belongs to Wade Palmer. Andy, clean race. They did a great job on a slick track with a loose car from what we saw in practice. Your takeaway from tonight's race?
Car straight, and I mean, overall it was a phenomenal performance. Congratulations to Chris Phillips on the win. Him and William Britton, you know, the push couldn't just push its way to first, but you know, both of those guys had a phenomenal race, and it was fun to sit here and broadcast.
Absolutely, they did an excellent job. Only 2 cautions tonight on, as we said, a slick track with a loose car. They maintained it well, drove the wheels off of it. Congratulations to Chris Phillips, the race winner. Your other podium finishers, William Britton and Greg Pillar, congratulations on that. The Roughneck boys came away in 4th, 7th, and 16th.
15th and 16th.
Yep, 15th and 16th. So definitely a good run for James Wagoner and Jimmy Pylon coming away with top 10s there. Congratulations to those guys. Thank you to American Sheepdog for letting us broadcast this race. It was fun to just get to sit back and chill and watch a race with a old Drewski here. It's always fun and a pleasure to be in the booth with him. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see, where do they race next week? I think there's one race left.
I think so. I think it's one race left. If we go over the leagues, American Sheepdog sessions, next week will be Michigan, the finale.
The finale at Michigan, ladies and gentlemen. So we will be back live again next Wednesday from American Sheepdog Racing, Checkfire 22 Xfinity Series at Michigan. We hope to see you there. Andy, you got anything to close?
That's it. Appreciate you, James Wagoner's Welding, for allowing us to do this, and everybody have a good night.
Ruff-Neck Racing would like to thank our sponsor, Wagoner Welding. Wagoner Welding is a family-owned and operated business located in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. They specialize in custom-built truck beds and framework of all types. You can reach them at 336-670-3427 or visit the shop located at 446 DeHart Church Road.